Good morning and welcome to the Ark Ministries. Pastor Brian McGill here on the beautiful island of Guam. Today, I took this time to come outside and be with you. First and foremost, I want to truly send out my thanks and my gratitude to all those who took time out of their busy schedules to celebrate me on the day of my birth. It was such a powerful day and such a wonderful day that I was actually overwhelmed with emotions, and typically I don't get too emotional, but I was so grateful to be celebrated that I was overwhelmed. So I just want to tell you, thank you all, thank you so much to all those that showed up, especially to my daughter and to my daughter Rhythm, who truly went above and beyond, and she wanted to try and surprise me, but she couldn't, because I didn't want to be surprised, and because I didn't want to have, I didn't want to miss out on Bible study and having that time of fellowship with the Father. She just gathered everybody together, and we cooked a dinner here at the house, and it was just a powerful thing. So I truly appreciate everything that everyone did, and I'm so proud of our church family, and even my extended family. I thank for my mother-in-law, my sister-in-laws who came and just blessed me with their words and their time, and even those of you who blessed me with your words. I'm so grateful, so very grateful. Today, I just want to share with you something, because you're seeing some of the posts that are coming back out of Texas from our First Lady Bernice, and I think that these are some very powerful things that we need to be aware of. One, she's telling us about the struggle of a young man who was struggling with the spirit of death and the spirit of suicide. And because of that struggle, there was something that was birthed inside my son and my daughter. Now, I'm not glorifying my son and my daughter, but I want to glorify what was birthed in them. And it was birthed in them because of a confession that my son made. Now, I want to share with you something in Genesis 1, okay? Genesis is a beautiful book, and I'm so grateful that God had this written down so that we have the history of creation. It says in Genesis chapter 1, it says, "In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was on the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. Then God said, 'Let there be light,' and there was light." He created the heavens and the earth. And his spirit hovered over the earth, and he spoke and said, "Let there be light," and there was light. My son said something before one day while I was in Texas. My wife was messing with him kind of, and he said, "The Bible says, don't speak evil against the prophet of God." Now, he may not have said it all in those words, but that's what he said, because that's what I heard. And I asked him a question. I said, "Who are you calling the prophet?" He said, "Isaiah." Isaiah is the prophet. And without knowing, he unleashed inside himself something that was already in him. You see, the light was already on the earth, but with God's speaking, "Let there be light," the earth actually received the light. Well, the prophet was already in my son, but with his confession, it released the prophetic in him. So now we fast forward to this young man that's been having all these issues, and my son has a vision. Now, don't you know that all of our prophets have vision? Every prophet that's known will have visions. We'll see things, and we'll see things about your life. We'll see things about my life. We'll see things about their life that can help them supernaturally cause a change. And because of that, my son was able to share that vision with my daughter. Now, here's what happens when something's birthed out of the Spirit. When it's birthed out of the Spirit, it creates an luminescence, much like the sunlight you see out in the background. it lights up the entire thing. It lights up everything around it. And because it lit up in him, it lit up in those that were around him. And when he shared the vision with my youngest daughter began to research through something that's already inside of her, which is also the spirit of the prophetess. And she began to go into the spiritual realm. And because of this light, God was able to set a young man free from the spirit of death. And now he said to cover up what was causing the reminder of death, to cover up, to remove the thought of death. Because as you most times what we think is what we speak, right? Your body feels bad, so you say I'm sick. Your body you feel pain, so you say I hurt. You may not be the exact size and shape you are, so you call yourself fat, or you're too fat, or you're too skinny, or you're too this, or you're too that, and you speak those things, and you cause something in the supernatural to awaken in you that's not in you. You see, the spirit of death is not in us. It's not in us. But because the thought of death can come upon us, and we speak death, we actually release in ourselves that very spirit. So the power of your confession is greater than what you would ever even imagine. I want you to take for a moment. I just want you to take some time and just give something to yourself that you haven't given to yourself in a long time. I want you to give yourself praise. I want you to give yourself honor. I want you to give yourself first place today. I want you to look yourself in the mirror, eye to eye, and say, you know what? You are beautiful, or you are handsome. You are God's creation. You are God's glory. You are the righteousness of God. I want you to speak so much life into your spirit that it creates a different change in you. You see, sometimes because our confession is wrong, our attitude is wrong. And now I made a stand, I stand by this statement, that I will never call my children something that they are not. I have never called my children drug dealers, thugs, worthless. I have never told them that they could not do something. I've never told them that they could not be something. I've always tried to do my best to encourage, to speak life into my children's spirit, because I knew, not to the point that I know now, that as long as I'm telling them that they are able to do this or able to be this, that one day they would actually become what I'm saying. So I want you all right now, to take the time and to speak life into yourself. Now, after you speak life into yourself, speak life into your circumstance. Speak life into your situation. You know, we can create our very world with our voice. I mean, that's why God said the tongue it needs to be bridled sometimes. You need to be able. Sometimes you got to hook this thing and keep it down, because the tongue will actually, as you speak, it will lash out sometimes and will cause so much hurt. And then another time it'll be so calm and so refreshing and so encouraging that it will allow you to reach newer heights and newer levels. Now today I'm outside and I'm dressed down. I'm actually in some flip-flops, some shorts, and this Aloha print shirt that my daughter bought me for my grandson's birthday. But you know what? That doesn't change the fact that I am Pastor McGill. My clothes don't change who I am. It's just the scenery. Where I'm at does not change the fact that God created all of this for us, and He created it by using His words. It does not change that. God spoke life into this earth, and He spoke life into you this morning when He rose you from the bed. Now I want you to speak life again into yourself. God has already spoken it over you. He's already given it to you. He's already told you. He's already shared with you that you are his light. It's just time for you to shine, baby. I'm so thankful that God is using this situation in my son to shed light on the enemy. You see, what we thought was a setback was actually a setup for God to shine light in dark places. And see, because people admire him, kids, young kids, because they admire him and they look up to him and they see him in a different light, they share with him they share with him a respect, and then they share their innermost things with him. And because they share that with him, he's able under the anointing and now under the call of God that he placed on his own life with his own confession. You see, unbeknownst to him, it was all his confession. Now God is opening new doors for them, for him. God is going to, and I believe that God is going to use this very situation to help not only completely transform him, but transform even the people that come in contact with him. I just have one question for you, and one question only. One question only. What is your confession? What is your confession? Mine is, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And because I'm fearfully and wonderfully made, and the maker and the great creator did not make a mistake when he made me. He created me to be who I am and to be how I am and to be to be exactly what he needed me to be. Because he knew by creating me this way, he was going to get the best out of me. He made you and he created you exactly the way he wanted you to be, because he knew he was going to get the best out of you. What is your confession? I'm so thankful that we were able to shed light on in some dark areas. But let me pray for you right now. God, I just want to tell you thank you, because you're doing great things in small places. We are small places, but you're doing great things in small places. And Father, I'm asking and praying right now that everyone whose confession has been negative about themselves, or every confession they have spoken that has been negative, that has spoken death, that has spoken of and given the seed for the spirit of death to come in, Father, I pray and I pray against that confession right now. I pray, oh God, that I speak life, and I speak life more abundantly, and I speak joy abundantly into your people right now. I pray, oh God, that as they listen to this, that they would be encouraged to speak life over themselves. I thank you for what you're doing. God, I thank you for using this man. So now, God, as this man is giving to you what you've given to him, I pray, Father, that you would use this word, not because the man is speaking, but because it's your word, to shed light on your people. Father, I thank you for everything you're doing and everything you've already done. I bless your people. I bless your people with a prophetic blessing. I bless your people with an evangelistic blessing. I bless your people with a pastoral blessing, and everything that they need, everything that they have a desire of, God, I know you're going to bring it to pass. Thank you for everything you're doing, Father. For those who are listening under the sound of my voice that may not know you as their Lord and Savior, my God, let this be today that they make that confession. That they actually say, I want you, Jesus, as my Lord and Savior. We love you, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Listen, if this blesses you, and you know what blesses you, you know what you're supposed to do with your blessings? You're supposed to share them. Share this with somebody else. God bless you. We love you. And there's nothing that's going to change that.